Welcome back to the virtual cafe where we tell stories that slap straight from people who have been through the mud but never collapsed. Today we have a guest whose journey has been straight up inspiring, from grinding it out as a college athlete to navigating the ups and downs of entrepreneurship to now co-founding Nichefire, a company that's changing the game with AI cultural intelligence for CPG and retail. Khalil Elamane is proof that resilience plus vision equals impact. So without further ado, let's jump in. What's good, bro?
What's up, bro? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to have you on. I feel like you're my light-skinned dreaded brother. So
Hey, that's like literally the first thing we talked about when we connected. Like, bro, the hair, like, I love it. I'm here for it, man. I've been following your journey. It's an honor to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Thanks for coming on. That's one of the things we spoke about in the professional world. Having locks is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, now is more acceptable, but
hmm
it's still, honestly, I kind of feel like it's kind of the cheat code. I'm not going to hold you. What is it called? Affirmative action?
That's what happened to me, dude. I grew mine out during COVID. I just was like, I'm not cutting my hair anymore. And then that's just how I ended up with locks.
So you know what? That's when I should have done. I was going to rock the since he fitted for you,
Ah,
but I couldn't do it because my lady just
she just got you
did my
together.
retwist. I'm like, she
Look
got me
nice.
together. I
Yeah.
got to show it out.
Man, definitely repping the sense he fitted though. I love it.
So let's start off there. How was it growing up in Cincy?
Man, growing up in Cincinnati was amazing, man. Cincinnati is one of those cities that's not too big, but not too small. So you end up knowing everyone, but you could duck off and, be by yourself if you needed to.
Mhm.
Really leaned into sports as a youngster, and it's a sports town. So Cincinnati is a perfect town for a kid like me. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Being from New York, we be feeling like we the center of the universe. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I I can't imagine um growing up in other major cities. Like what is Cincy? What's the culture of Cincy? What is Cincy known for?
Well, like I was saying, sports town. We have the Cincinnati Reds. I believe they're the oldest baseball team in MLB. And then we got the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hmm.
Um, what else we known for here? Cincinnati Bearcats. Right, we have a major university. We actually have two major universities that both have very strong sports teams within the University of Cincinnati and Xavier University.
Okay.
But really sports, food, beer, um,
What's
music.
y'all bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup? Like, what's y'all staple food that's like you only get?
It's not a fan favorite, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. It's a chili that we have here. It's called Cincinnati chili. And
Mm.
basically there's two competing restaurants. It's either Skyline or Gold Star Chili, but our chili is like that weird food that's specific in here.
Uh-huh.
It's not what you think though. It's like
Yeah.
cinnamon mixed with chocolate mixed with, it's like this soup that pour over noodles and cheeses, and
What?
it's different, bro. It's different, but people love it. People love it. It's definitely a place to come to get, some of that, or your late nights out with your friends, that type of deal. Um, but then just the food in general, real strong food culture.
Mm.
A lot of restaurants, a lot of beer, breweries, stuff like that. So it's a vibe, though. You have to come. Like I said, everyone that visits always says it's a great time.
Nah, facts. What's the diversity complex?
Yeah. So Hamilton County is extremely diverse. Um, and it's more millennial people moving into the area to work at one of the large corporations, whether it's Procter and Gamble or GE or Kroger.
Mm.
We got a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are in the area, so we attract a lot of talent.
Mm.
But then you get outside of Hamilton County, and that's when it starts to look like, old school Ohio, where it's a little bit more conservative,
Mm.
more red than blue. type of
Okay.
deal going on. But the city proper, I think it's probably like 300,000 people or something like that in the city. But in the metropolitan, not the metropolitan area, but and the entire like 275 loop is what we call it. I think it's almost like 2 million, a couple million people in that area. So it could get big, it could be small, right? But
Yeah.
once you leave outside of like the Cincinnati area, it gets more rural and more like all my cousins from Harlem used to be like, "Oh, you live in Ohio." And I'm like, "Why y'all keep saying it like that?" And they thought it was cornfields everywhere, but it's like skyscrapers and city living down this way. You get outside of
Mm.
here, it's more rural.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. So it would obviously it's considered like the Midwest, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
But it's
dope. Dope.
southern too. It's southern because we're like an hour and a half away from Louisville and like a couple hours away from Tennessee. So it's
Uh,
still southern, but it's like right over the Ohio River is like north.
okay, okay. Nah, it's fire. So take me through the progression of like, your like childhood there, then developing into this like athlete. Um, and I know you probably get it all the time. People are, yo, you got a football body. You you play for the Bengals. You got a
Right,
football. I literally got that today. I was balling. They're like, oh yeah, you must play for the Jets.
right.
Like I'm like, nah. But
Nah.
sometimes I'll be milking. I'm not gonna hold you. Like yeah, I just got signed by the Jets. But
Man,
tell me
listen,
how it was for you though.
you know how it is when you're big and black, everyone expect you to play some type of sport. So, uh,
Facts.
growing up, it was one of those things that I couldn't escape. Like I was a real rambunctious child, so my parents threw me in sports immediately. So sports was always a part of my life.
Mm.
And when I was a kid, I started playing football. I think I was like 8, but I had to play with like the 12-year-olds because I was too big.
Word.
Yeah, so my immediate relationship with football was a little different, like because I didn't know, like when you were a kid, you don't know that you bigger than, like you don't know what that means, right? Like, and
Yeah.
then like the little mean kids is the ones that's like taking off on you. So I had to deal with a lot of that early on. But what it did was it taught me how to compete. And those years after that, it was just like, icing on the cake. It was, I had to start playing with bigger boys immediately. And when
Yeah.
I started learning how to play, it started kind of coming full circle. And around high school, ninth grade or so is when I started hitting my strides with just football and growing and, got blessed with ridiculous size, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm about almost 6'6".
Okay.
At the time in high school, I'm 300 pounds as a freshman.
Uh,
So, um, it just naturally kind of went that way for me where, it made sense for me to be playing sports through the eyes of my peers and the neighborhood. But if I would have did anything else, it would have looked out of place. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't have been in the band. I couldn't have did. It just didn't work out because I had put
that's
so much.
crazy.
Yeah, I put so much time into the sports. And then I started getting recruited later on in my high school career. Went to the University of Cincinnati. Ended up starting for 2.5 years there. Undrafted free agent to the Arizona Cardinals, and that's where the line stopped for me. And minicamp there, I got cut. That's when I had to switch it up, But that's just my life in general is like all sports. It was like 100% sports
Yeah.
all the time. And then it went to 100% football, maybe like my second year of high school, where that was just football, football, football from the time I was like 14, 15 until 26, 27, right? So,
Yeah. I kind of feel some type of way. I know you was 6'6", bro. Like I'm 6'3".
yeah,
Like
you don't want to see me on the court, bro. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna get ugly.
yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm a pest. 6'6".
Right.
I'm still catching rebounds. What my
Hey,
boards is ridiculous.
I
But you
love
know
it.
what's so crazy is like being tall.
Mhm.
Like Like we big boys. So I think there's the you kind of had an insecurity of being a big boy at times. Like, damn, I don't want to have to shop at Burlington. You know what I'm saying? I want to get fly, and they, I'll be going to the stores. I'm like, yo, this is big boy discrimination. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
But
super hard to buy clothes.
the craziest thing is, like, you forget that other men have the insecurity of not being tall because you
Mm,
just tall for so long.
mhm,
Like I always forget that that's a real insecurity,
mhm.
and then I get around dudes that are taller than me, and I'll be like, I bet he can't beat me in ball though.
I used to be like that in high school because naturally, like you walk in rooms and you always like the tallest and you
Yeah.
get all the attention for it. Um, but then like my freshman year, one of my homeboys, man, Big Rodney, man, Rodney's 6'9", almost 6'10".
Oh, word.
Like, yeah, he was a big joker too, like 400 pounds, like just mammoth of a man. And
Well, what he doing now?
he's first of all, he's like half that person. He's like half that size now. He lost a ton of weight and he
Uh,
owns a trucking company. So he's doing
okay.
real well. Um, but you run into other giants and it's funny, like my wife, leave my wife to tell it because she's like, all right, well, I get used to him because my wife is 5'6",
Yeah.
125 pounds. Like she's not a big lady at all. So she's like, well, I done got used to my teddy bear or whatever. And then like, it's about to be football season. So all my homies coming back to the city or whatever, coming to watch the UC games, everyone's like my size. So she's just like, oh my God, it's so like, why is it so many people here? It's only four of us. So yeah, man. I mean, I think you're blind to your size until you have that, you know, person that's bigger than you, and you're like, dang, I didn't notice. But
Yeah, yeah.
there was a kid that was 7 feet tall in my high school. So
Word.
yeah, yep, he played. He was on the hoop team.
Oh,
So
word. Nah, that's different.
he
Like
was trash though.
if you 7 feet tall, you gotta be in the A, or you gotta if you're not in the A, you might as well just like play overseas or something.
Bro,
Cause
he was trash, bro. Like his heart wasn't there. Heart wasn't in it. It
oh
was
my,
one of those things. It was a great example of what we were talking about, bro. A big kid that's being forced to do something that he don't want to do. And
mm,
because you 7 foot, everyone wants you to go hoop because you literally can put your arms up and slam dunk the ball. Like it's
yeah,
nothing, but it ain't, there's more that comes back to your mentality. Like I'm a pest. Like it's still
yeah,
all here. You still
yes.
dogging.
It's like you either got that dog in you or you don't.
It's facts. Like what are you gonna do if you get
What?
smacked in the teeth?
I'm like Patrick Beverly on the court, bro. I'll be talking so much crap, bro.
Hey.
I'll tell people, I'm like, yo, in my hood, they say if you scared, get a dog. No, crazy. And you don't have to show me. Like,
Man, I got a crazy New York basketball story that I'll share with you one day, man. But I love the culture up there. Y'all stay at the courts all year. As long as it ain't frozen, somebody
yeah.
will be at the court playing. And
Mhm.
it's so many basketball courts up there. So many places to play.
Yeah, bro. You said you'd be out here, so whenever you come, we definitely could definitely hit up some spots.
Get a run in for sure.
Yeah. So tell me, after um the Cardinals, right? After Arizona, things don't pan out. What's the next step from there? Like, what's the mentality from there?
Oh, mentality, man. That was my first dose of the real world because it was, I always could fall back on my athletics.
Hmm.
That was what I was supposed to be doing. But when that was over, I didn't almost, I had identity crisis, if you will. Like I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
Um, and then and I'm pretty sure a lot of athletes, especially collegiate, like live this is where you live with your teammates and y'all share a house or whatever. Some of my teammates were still playing. So I got
Mm.
stuck in that like what's it called? What's the dude that never wanted to leave college? But I kind of got stuck in that mode where it was
Yeah.
just like party Khalil, and it felt good because it was stimulating, but it was bad on my mental because I wasn't. It was like all play, no work. And I was
Mm,
never used to that. If you could indulge and go crazy when you know you're gonna go to workouts, you're gonna, you got that to look forward to. You still got practice. Those, you know what I mean? It'll kind of keep you in your rhythm. But when that was gone, it was like, dang, I can just party and party and party and party and party and
facts.
party. And partying feels good because it's sad as hell to think about. Dang, I was playing since I was 8 and now it's over. Or dang, just like that Kurt Warner was right across from me, and Anquan Bolton and Larry Fitzgerald. All these guys are literally my teammates. Then they're not no more. I don't even get
Mhm.
a chance to prove myself. And then
Yeah.
I had a lot of people like, "Man, you quit too early," and
That's crazy.
it was just like mental. So the partying was like, "Man, let me go party. Let me
Mhm.
go have fun." And I got stuck in that for a little bit. Um, but really just had to pull myself up by the bootstraps and get serious about life, really. I got strong family, strong father. So my father pulled me on into his business, and that's kind of where I got my first wake up call is what I wanted to do was entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So tell me about that. What was his business?
He ran a landscaping company,
Okay.
a commercial landscaping. So we wasn't doing just like people's houses. We was doing like if they build a mall, all the install of the mall, or if we do a new building downtown in Cincinnati, we would do all the plants. And we talking, anywhere between 100,000 to $500,000 projects.
Yeah.
So it was more construction than it was contracting.
Yeah.
And he had his business registered with the state as a minority business. So I figured out how to kind of go to meetings and I learned contracting through my dad and working with my dad. Yeah.
That's dope, bro. I love that. And I've had my mentor who really broke that down to me. And he explained to me that, as black men, as Latino men, as like Latinos, like minorities, we choose service-based businesses and instead of product-based businesses. But service-based businesses are so much harder to scale. So the fact that your dad was able to scale it and you were able to see the ins and outs of it, psh,
Man, it's
kudos.
crazy too because I got to see it at levels like I wrote about my dad's dump truck on LinkedIn like a week ago or something like that cuz that was like one of those moments where I first seen my dad like that can like I can say that that day was how my dad was forever after that, right? He came home with a positive attitude. It was all about it was all about accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish. Your goals and all those things are contingent on you figuring out how to get through the tough times, right?
Mhm.
So it was always like you can always win. That was
Mhm.
something my dad put in me. And he started there with that little beat up truck and somehow talked his way into being the head grounds crew at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Wow.
And they gave him all the equipment. Like they gave him lawnmowers, truck, all types of stuff. I'm like, how did this happen? Like,
Yeah.
and before you know it, it was just off. So I got to see the business kind of start from there all the way up to the time it failed. I seen the full cycle of the business. So I can't say how instrumental that was. There was so much that I learned. So much.
Thing is so interesting to see because the experience for the black man in America, the experience out here is like a lot of my friends who are black, like they dealt with not having like my best friend, he didn't have a relationship with his father,
Mm,
till very, very late in life, and I think that the fact that um, you were raised by a black man and he showed you business and
mhm.
you like these are the things that like a lot of people that where I come from they would love to have that experience So
man.
that's such a blessing within itself, you know?
My father was very adamant on keeping the thing rolling afterwards, right? It's like,
Mhm.
all right, I can teach I can teach my sons how to get in these streets and do things like I used to, or I can teach them how to build businesses or build ideas that continue to bring finances to you in the right way. And it's funner. And my dad always had that because he wasn't always a legit businessman, right? He wasn't like
Yeah.
most of us. He wasn't always doing the right things, right? So
Right.
um I'm like the middle child too. I got two older sisters, and then it's me and my younger brother. So I think by the time me and my brother was born, my dad had made that switch where he knew how important it was for us to see what he was doing and that it was positive all the time. And my dad was like everybody's dad too.
Mm.
He was like one of them type of dads where all my friends, anyone that came over, he like, and people would be like, man, you better stop for Khalil dad. Come
Yeah.
out here. He was that type of man. So he just kind of took that initiative to make sure not only me and my brother had it, but like even the people around us. Cause honestly, like sometimes it don't even be like your direct friends that pull you into the foolishness. Cause I done been pulled into some stuff. You know what I mean? You know how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that I did have a dad was definitely a cheat code. Like you ever read Outliers by
Nah.
Malcolm Gladwell? My
Nah.
dad is definitely one of my outliers, right? And
Yeah.
having a father like that, because that male role model piece, I didn't have to look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Like you know, I recognize it with myself because like my dad was in my life, but I think I didn't really build the connection with him that I have with him till I was older, till I
Hmm.
understood him as a man, right? But there were men in my life that really saw something special in me and they nurtured it.
Hmm.
They didn't have to, but they just did. Like they fed into me, and I look back at like a lot of my friends, and some of them are not here with us no more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And they just didn't have that same level of exposure.
Hmm.
So the fact that your father was a patriarch, like
Yeah.
that's really what he was. That's what he was. He was a patriarch. Like
Yeah.
that's what I hope to be with my son. I mean, and my daughter. Like yeah, I think your kids' friends will love them different when you
Yeah.
show them love.
Man, way
You
different.
know,
Yep.
we'll be like, "Yo, nah, we not letting Khalil do that." You know his pop's gonna spaz. You know what
Bro,
I'm saying?
every time it'd be like, Khalil, you know your daddy ain't gonna let you. Man, we not even gonna invite you because we don't want Mr. Elamine, da 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 da. And I'd be like, dang, Pops, in my style. Like, damn, Pops, they about to go run over there with the shorties. We lying about what we doing, but be cool. He like, no, dang,
Nah,
Pops,
that's
man. But it take losing your dad to appreciate it way more.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I lost my dad in 2000 and or 2020, excuse me. I said 2000, 2020.
Oh, was it because it was? I mean, my apologies if I'm prying, but was it COVID?
I don't know. No, not really. But he was sick enough that, he could have had complications with COVID. He caught pneumonia a bunch of times.
Yeesh.
So it was real. It was before the pandemic actually kicked off. It was like early 2020 when he passed away.
That's interesting because my condolences, bro.
Yeah.
I'm super super sorry because I mean I still have both my parents and I'm
Mm,
blessed. Um, but I'm curious to ask you about this because I've heard this quote before, and I want to know if you could confirm or deny it. I heard a quote once that said, "A man doesn't really feel like a man until his parents are gone."
that was like one of the biggest like headbutting moments that I continue to have with my dad as I grew up because it felt like he never let me like be a man. Always like, and you don't feel that until that's no longer there. And that's what that is. Thank God I still have my mother. And I cherish that. Me and my mom, we go on walks once a week. Uh, so, I keep moms tapped in, but you're right, man. Like I can wholeheartedly say like there was a new layer of manhood that I stepped into when my father left because that's such a strong man in our family. So I had big shoes to fill. And I'm not just saying just like me, my wife, and my kids. I'm talking about my sisters, my mom, everyone.
Yeah,
Family, right? It was like if it was a big void in the family when he left. So yeah, man, it's true. You
I
feel it.
think
It's
that's
weird. It's weird because you don't know what that anxiety is. It just kind of like hits you where you just like, I
yeah.
do this, I got to do that, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I can confirm it for sure.
Yeah, I feel you on that, bro. Like I feel like me personally, I like my father and my mom split up when I was very young. And when my dad had left, my mom had said, like, you're the man of the house now.
Mm,
I was like 9 years old. And like in my mind at that young age, I really took it literally.
mm,
Like I felt an incredible responsibility over my younger brother, over like, and to this day, I have this like complex about me where I feel like I'm responsible for everyone.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, my nieces and nephews, this, that, like, I take on the stress of being responsible for everyone, especially as you grow in faith and you care, you see the things that people are going through in your family, and you like, yo, if you just directed your focus here and this and it makes it challenging. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna hold you, bro.
it does. I mean, it's the burden of being a provider.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like and just being a man and being righteous, like you can't see things not being done right and then just let people do it. Like, especially if
yeah,
you love them,
facts.
you gotta say something
Uh huh.
and you gotta be willing to have a critical conversation with people. And the other part, you know as much as I do, with your woman, man, you gotta be ready to hold yourself accountable too, cause she definitely gonna hold your ass. She definitely gonna hold you accountable to everything, cause she ain't gonna let you miss. So I think you 100% right, bro. Like that part of that's a real part of being a man is like knowing how to lead, knowing when to be led sometimes, um, compassion, listen, and make decisions quickly, but not 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 rapidly. Like you don't want to make quick decisions, but you don't want to fail to make a decision either, because people are counting on you.
That's the sweet spot, bro. Is like being like I agree with you. You don't want to be impulsive, but that's another thing. Wealthy people make decisions very quickly.
Hmm.
They don't focus on things that, and honestly, I see it happening within myself, bro, because I have somebody call me with some in Spanish we call it bonchinche. Like
Mm,
it's like gossip.
yeah,
Like I have somebody call me with some gossip and I'm just like, yeah, but this really ain't paying the bills. Like, you
right,
know what I'm saying?
right,
like this ain't making no money. Like, I'm not trying to talk about people. I'm trying to talk about ideas, you
right.
know?
On God. Oh, God. I get agitated with that too. But what I'm starting to learn too is that, especially like when we in the mode we both are in, and you got to lead with grace, right? Like a graceful king is always the best type of king, because sometimes you have to meet people where they are, and that's the sacrifice you take when you do pick up that phone from that friend that is hitting you up, because you don't have to pick up.
Yeah.
I leave my mug on D&D.
Yo, bro, I just recently learned that
Boy,
with my fiance, bro, because she don't pick up if she don't want to pick up. And she'd be like, yo, why you pick up every time?
man, you don't got
And I
to.
and I mean it's just deep rooted. It's like you said, anxiety and things of that nature. But Honestly, if it's an emergency, they gonna call back.
Bro. They'll be on your jack as soon as they hang up, they will call right back. Like if it ain't
Except for Mama Love, bro. Mama Love be calling me even when it's not an emergency. She gonna call back, back to back, bro.
I'm sitting in the park waiting for my mom to show up for the walk, and she running late, and she gave me a text message and a call at every stoplight she was at. I said, I said, I said, Mom, just get here. No, right? You ain't gonna get here faster. But yeah, moms will do that to you.
Yeah. So talk to me about after you're no longer working with your father, like you jump into the corporate world. What was that like?
Man, I had a transition to be, my father to be, right? So all those, missed payrolls or hey, wait till this job clears and I'll pay you, that wasn't helpful for my situation. So um it broke my dad's heart, man. I couldn't work with him anymore. I wanted something different. I went the enterprise route. They hired athletes like crazy, and as a chance to kind of get into some sales. It's all retail sales, but I was with it. I was just determined to just do a great job. So I went worked at enterprise. I was there for 3 or 4 years. Got fired, just being stupid. But the thing is like I went from entry level to manager in like 7, 8 months or something like that at enterprise. I
Mhm.
did real well there. Um, but I wanted more. I
Yeah.
wanted more, and it. I couldn't stop hearing my dad in the back of my head of just working for myself. You should work for yourself. You got the skills. You should always work for yourself. So I started a couple businesses. I had a bunch of failed ideas in the
Mhm.
beginning.
Aren't you grateful for those though now?
Man, I'm so glad that I did it, even though it was corny and people like looked down on me for it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't try that stuff. I wouldn't have learned what I learned. Like I had to try something different
Mhm.
because if I came back, if I get fired from enterprise and I say I'm gonna go back and work for my dad, then I got to listen to him. I told you, da, da. So that ego was there already talking to me. So it's like, well, what am I gonna do? It's like, all right, get another job and then start a side hustle somehow.
Mhm.
And that's when I learned. I started like self teaching myself just digital marketing in general. um, Growing my Twitter page, growing my Instagram page, going into the social tools and engaging with people in the comments and sending DMs. Like I was one of the, and I feel like I was one of the first groups of people that was like into that because I was able to get in, grow my Instagram page real easy, or grow my Facebook page or Twitter, and I liked it. So I thought maybe I'll turn into a marketing agency.
Mhm.
So went down that route. Quickly found out I was not a designer. I was not. I was not an.
Canva wasn't out yet?
No, no. Canva wasn't out yet, or if it was, I ain't know about it. This is early 2013, 2014. So I think Canva might have been out, but I wasn't hip. And Canva wasn't that good back then either, as
Nah,
it was like what Canva is now is definitely
ridiculous.
cool. But Canva and
Canva done took out the whole Photoshop industry,
dude,
graphic designer industry.
Canva is amazing. No, it wasn't no Canva, man. And I built my first website. It was trash. I could go get customers, but I
Mhm.
couldn't deliver and delight them enough with my work. It was bad.
Mm.
So I was always looking for like someone that I could do it with. Tried to partner with some people on Fiverr, right? Tried to get some people on Mechanical Turk. I don't know if anyone knows what these things are that I'm talking about, but these are ways. Like if there's a will, there's a way, right? Look it up after you watch this podcast. But I tried everything, man, and then again I got fired too. So had to find a new job. I got a job selling copiers,
Mhm.
and I had a sales manager that was like, he was like, hey, anybody want to go to this networking event? You might be able to sell some people some copiers.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's legit people. I go to the thing, bro, and nobody raised their hand. I should have knew something was up because nobody, like all the reps that I thought was like good reps, and everybody was like, I'm cool, like I'm good. I'm like, should I go? It was all like network marketing. It was like a company that sold sex toys. It was just it was wild, bro. It was the worst networking event I've ever went to, but it was also the best one I ever went to because I sat next to a guy that had a UC portfolio. It had the UC seal and symbol on it. And I'm like, oh, okay, he went to UC. So I'm gonna just tell you, you went to UC? Like, yeah, I'm like, I graduated too. Like, let's, and then I'm like, hey man, you ready? Like the did, bro? That's kind of weird. He's like, yeah. So we go out in the hallway. That person was Michael Howard. So I met Michael Howard. We got coffee. Maybe a couple days after that, I told him about this marketing agency idea, and me and him started a marketing agency maybe a week or two after meeting at that event. And that's how the whole Nichefire story came all together. Is me and Michael were at this terrible networking event. Um,
Mm.
so that's kind of the story from there. Is I go to work, tried it out for a couple years, really saw that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and just was relentless at working towards that.
I love that. So dang. I mean, we can't just fast forward that part. Like that's the
No.
good part. So you guys make this connection and decide y'all wanna start. Do you guys wanna be tech founders? What were like the follow-up steps were like did you was it a lot of like, yo, how are we gonna make this happen?
Yeah.
What were those
Let me,
follow-up conversations like?
let me break it down because we didn't originally say we were going to be tech founders. We were about to be agency owners. We wanted to be
Mm.
madmen. We wanted to run an agency and work with the biggest brands and be this, small boutique agency that just disrupts the agency world, right? Wishful thinking. Not a dime in our pocket, right? We quickly found out that these agencies that start off like that have money backing them. Um, but in the hustle and bustle of trying to scale that business, um, Michael came to me and he said that he had an idea for an app that would allow businesses to learn best practices based off of their competitors' content strategies. And I
Mm.
thought this was genius because I was self-taught. And all I would do was go to Neil Patel's page or go to, um, at the time, Gary Vee was still like, he wasn't even as big as he was now. So I'll go to Gary Vee's page. I'll find these influencers and market to their audiences and,
Mhm.
learn what they were doing. So Michael's idea, I said, oh, that's brilliant. That's how I taught myself this industry. Like, how will we do it? He's like, we could use AI to do this. And I'm like, all right, well, let me start learning about this. If it's something that we end up doing, I'd like to be a part of it. So fast forward back to the agency, we weren't like we had customers, but we weren't growing at a pace where we could even afford to pay ourselves really. Like we had an
Mhm.
account, I get some groceries out of it. Michael will be like, stop spending the money. And he'd be like, damn, dude, like, what are we gonna do? So, um, we got into a business incubator.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you heard of this before, but it's like, you got accelerators where you can go as a business and get established and maybe even pitch to win some money or stuff like that. Usually how those accelerators work. But an incubator is more of a at your own pace, give you a business coach type of situation. And this incubator had office space in it too. So we
Mhm.
got like office space for $1 a square foot. We had like a little closet office in this
Mm.
building and got coaching, and we brought in our other founder, Steven, to help us with finances for the agency as we sunset that and got our taxes together for that.
Mhm.
And then we started the Lean Startup Canvas,
Mhm.
and that's how we got the beginning pieces of Nichefire off the ground. And it was actually a competitive analysis tool
Mhm.
first. So that's kind of how it all, You know, I had to fast forward through all of it, but that's kind of how I went from my dad to my own business. And it only took, you know, if,
What lessons have you learned in terms of leadership and collaboration while building it?
that word leadership is an interesting word. I guess in school, maybe it's school that does that to us. You always have like a class leader or a line leader or something like that that kind of helps you stay in line or things like that. But your perception of leadership at that age is like you have to be uh you have to be the person doing the thing, right?
Hmm.
That's not true leadership though, right? True
Yeah.
leadership comes in many different forms. Sometimes following is that leadership piece that you have to have. And let me give you an example. When you're building a business with two other people, the reason that a lot of startups fail or don't work out is because the founders end up like hating each other or not being able to work with each other. And me, Michael, and Steven have been working together for almost a decade now. And the reason that it works is that we all understand how to let off the gas, push in the clutch, shift the gear, and let someone else in, right?
Hmm.
That's the analogy I'll say. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's Michael out front pushing. Sometimes it's Steven out front pushing. Sometimes it's me out front pushing. But regardless, if someone's pushing, then someone has to push the back too.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work if all three of us are all working in our own directions.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing that I want to strive about leadership is that you have to be willing to step back when you know that you are not the one.
Hmm.
Like, bro, if you know that it's not you, that's okay. You got to step back and let whoever is him, let him do his thing. And then you can step in and I think part of me being able to have that realization is that even just in football, I didn't play a position where I could just be like, oh, I'm the man. I was a lineman. I
Yeah.
offensive lineman at that. I wasn't getting sacks. I couldn't go score touchdowns. I had to block and make sure that my quarterback could throw or the hole was there for the running back to run in. But
Yeah.
what you're also doing is holding that block so the receiver can get open.
Hmm.
You're getting out on that screen so it creates traffic so your receiver can come back up under it. There's so many different areas where you're super important, but you're never going to get that credit for. But you become okay with that as a lineman because you get yours in other ways, right?
Yeah.
Um, so going back to that with three founders, I think that give and take is something that we got really good at, and it helped us build this business because I don't like you take one of us out, and I don't think that Nichefire is where it is today. Like I couldn't have done it without those guys, and I think they say the same thing about me. And that's because sometimes it's Michael, sometimes it's Steven, sometimes it's me, but we all know that when we are pushing, that if someone ain't with the program, you're gonna be in a sandwich getting pushed.
Yeah.
And we all gave each other the right to do that as well. Like, cause we got to keep this thing pushing. So I mean, I went to the weeds on that one about the leadership thing, but I want to make sure that people understand, like, just because you're out front don't mean that you're the only leader in your work. Like sometimes there's many leaders that are pushing things through, and sometimes your best leader is the best follower too.
Yeah, I think I feel you on that 100%, bro. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about leadership, and that's the primary one. We're in a world where we have like, sports media that says, "Oh yeah, can this person lead this team to an NBA championship? Can this person lead this team to an NFL championship?" But the thing is, there are first off, winning a championship, that's the goal for everyone, not just in sports, but that's why we play the game of business, baby.
Mhm.
That's it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We all trying to win a championship
Oh
in
God.
whatever form that it comes in. That's what the championship signifies. Like how to win friends and influence people. That's pretty much what I got out of that book. Is like nobody knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
The championship is the um it's like the proof, like, oh yeah, we knew what we was doing the whole time. No, you didn't.
Right.
We was all guessing,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But everybody wants the championship. And so I think leadership though specifically, I read a book called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell.
Mhm.
And the thing that I got from that book is like, and it says it in that book, is a true leader takes all of the blame when things go wrong and none of the credit when things go right.
Man, man, man. You got to because sometimes you're looking for that validation and it don't come and that'll tear you apart as a just a human being, right? So if you
Mhm.
just get rid of that, then it's just easier to just kind of, all right, well, if I'm reading a book right now, Extreme Ownership. Same
Mm.
same premise is if things aren't going right in your life, in your business, in your marriage, if you point the finger at the other person, then you already don't even understand the part of being a lead, like a leader. I had a coach, he would always say, before you point the finger, point the thumb.
Mhm.
And that's something that I always like, what am I not doing for my team not to see this the right way? Am I not explaining this the right way? Am I not taking time to share this the right way?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And let's keep it real, bro. We come from a community where a lot of the time, dudes you grow up with like to point the finger and they don't point the thumb. Like I think that's the biggest misconception, that like leadership starts is external. It's more
Mhm.
internal than it is external,
Mhm.
because especially if you have, like you spoke about earlier, your identity and and the importance of having your identity post football. But when you really have an identity that's not tied to any specific title, then that's the only way. Like the only identity I care about. Like you could call me whatever you want. You want to call me the host of the podcast. You want to call me, consumer insight specialist at a TAS. You call me a hole. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. The only thing that I care about personally is being called a child of God. I
Okay.
mean, that's all I care about.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, it is what it is, And so when I think a lot of the time people idolize their own titles, and it boosts their ego, and that's where founders end up bumping heads, because it's the only place where it's like, if I'm a founder, you a founder, and this person's a founder, we kind of have an equal title, but what if I put more money down? What if this person made that connection? What if you start thinking that way, easy to bump heads.
And it's counterproductive because we
Extreme.
here to make cheese. If ain't nobody eating, then what are we talking about?
Exactly.
So yeah, man, it's tough. That dynamic of leadership is super important, but I think that when you do have strong people, um, and I know this just from playing sports, because I mean, when you go D1, bro, everybody good,
Yeah.
everybody a dog, everybody was all state, everybody was all this, everybody can run a four, whatever, you know. But it's about, and again, it's a big team. It's 100 some men on the team. So it's about inserting your space as a leader and then leading by example too.
Yeah.
It can't be a whole lot of this. It got to be more emotion than anything. So that's where I think that the sports come in tremendously in this space of startup, SaaS tool and
Yeah.
sales. The fact that I was an athlete makes this feel very, very similar.
Yeah.
It feels like game day.
And yeah, when you go to them conventions and you see the other vendors and providers that you're competing against, it feels like that.
Bro, I got a cheat code too.
Oh yeah?
I put my hair up in like I'll put it up in like a antenna, bro.
Oh yeah?
I'll put it up in like I'll have my hairdresser do something crazy like this. So when I'm there, it's like everybody looking at me already.
Yeah, but honestly, bro, I mean, I feel you on that, but my experience personally, because I just went to my first Insights event, so like my
You went to
experience,
Quirks, right?
I
Quirks.
went to Quirks. It was fire. I'm not gonna hold you. Quirks is dope,
Yeah.
but
I went in
I think
London.
I think it's because of who I am, though. Like
Yeah.
it was, if it was one of my homies from the block, they would have been like, "This is
This is
trash."
lame.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
but it's because of my curiosity and wanting to be in the space.
I
And
might
that,
go to that next year, bro. I went to Quirks in London last year.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
Michael.
must have been a vibe.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, Quirks in London would make the most sense too. And this is, my teammates in London, like this is the thing where the conversation we've been having with them is like, uh, London, it seems like it's just the hub. The UK in general just seems like the hub of market research. Like the US is like way behind in terms of just consumer insights and market research. And
Oh,
that
because this is actually more restrictions there for them. Like
word.
they don't have as much access to certain things that we have here. So it is different. I think that because of that, it makes them more vocal about, what they're doing. But
I just do
honestly,
like
we've been working in a global capacity so long. I haven't even like took a second to ask some of my colleagues from over there versus the colleagues here. Um, but I will say that when it comes to certain aspects of just analytics, I do think that they have a step ahead in certain areas. But I think we have a step ahead in others.
I agree.
Mhm.
And that's what I was gonna mention about like being in those spaces. I actually recently I'm dropping her episode tomorrow. I'm not sure if you know Meryl DeBross. She's in Insights,
Okay.
but one of the things that we spoke about was the lack of diversity in the Insight space. So it's like you really don't even gotta put your hair up like that.
No,
First off, bro, would you say 6'6"?
almost, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you not hard to miss, but
6'5.5", and then I'm 350 pounds. So yeah,
you
I
is
stick
not
out,
hard to miss,
but
bro.
I do a little extra just to be extra with it, like.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, bro. But I mean, this space is so very new um to people who look like us,
Hmm.
and I think that that's exciting within itself.
Hmm. I think even in on the other side of it too is like at the brand level everywhere. I mean, it's not a lot of us doing this type of work, so it's like you still always searching for, like, I mean, again, when I reached out to you, I think Paige posted you or someone. We got mutual friend, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm hitting him up. He got dreads." Like, and then your profile said Professor X of Insights, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's why I wore my X-Men shirt today. I'm like, oh, I gotta hit bro up like ASAP, and I've had that mentality since I've been in the space, and every time I do go to one of those events, it is a pocket of Black analysts and insights researchers, market research people. I met a group of, I think it was in Texas, that was like all Black women that was in the space.
Really?
Yeah, like I definitely I'm here for that. I do think that working with people that have similar experiences or shared ideas or thoughts in that regard is very helpful just as a human being, because we all go through just human things as we work. And if you don't have someone that can connect with you on a human level that you're working with, it becomes a silo that you build up. and those
Mm.
become unhealthy. Like you start thinking different, and it's easier when you have somebody you can bounce those thoughts and frustrations, ideas off of. You know just as much as me, man. I gotta be three different Khalils every day, 10 different me's every day. It's the me that shows up for Nichefire and my customers. It's the me that shows up for the hood and everyone and how I talk there. And then and then it's baby shark.
Yeah.
It's dad Khalil at night, and I'm constantly switching, code switching, right? I don't think any other people on this earth have to do that like us black men
Yeah.
and black people in general.
Yeah. Be
So,
chameleons.
man,
I
man,
think
over time.
I feel like I personally have gotten into this space. I'm and you want to know something? I'm so thankful to God for just providing me with a platform and with a voice because I've gotten to this space personally where it's like, I don't really know if I'm code switching anymore. Like,
So
help.
I still am, but I caught myself the other day like, oh damn, like I ain't really, I've been like talking normal, like
Yeah, I think I gotta kind of always provide some level of code switch, unfortunately,
it,
just because
it's part of it.
I am not like on the basketball court, you gonna have to show me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what we come from.
just aggressive and um.
Just and that's the and I hate that is that word, especially because like even with my girl, like I'll be telling her, like, yo, I'm not yelling, I'm just
Loud,
Puerto Rican and Dominican and I'm from New York. That's what
right,
we do. We talk,
loud.
you know, but it might come off as aggressive,
Yeah,
you
that energy from us especially is scary for most.
know. Mm,
It's too much energy and it's too much for most.
mhm,
Like, and but coming from the environments we grow up in, that's how you survive. Like if you not like that, then people are messing with you.
mhm.
I was light skinned in the hood, bro. You know what it's like.
You was also 6'5",
Bro, big, light skin and
but
night,
you know what? A lot of the time, people don't know that when you tall, it's always the short dudes that try you.
bro, all the time, bro. The
They
shortest
got the
guys always trying to
Napoleon complex.
fight me, getting jumped after school. I bet you turn red if I slap you. We'll do it and see
Oh,
what
that's
happens.
crazy work.
Crazy, bro. Like bullying at a whole nother level. Uh, but we didn't grow up in a time where you could just be like, oh, that's bullying me. It was like, you better go get your bike back. You better go get your book bag back. You
Yeah,
better not
don't
come
come back in
home
the
or
house.
come back home
Yeah.
without your whatever the person took from you. Or if
Mhm.
someone hit you, and I was the oldest cousin in my group. So it's like, I can't let my little cousin see someone slap me and then nothing happen. I can't be at the football field and let everybody see someone like do something and then it's like, but shit, I'm gonna just get jumped then. But you kind of grow up and that's why culture is so important, bro. That's
Mhm.
why what we do at Nichefire is so important because all these experiences that we've had in New York, being Dominican and Puerto Rican, and me being just, just black in Ohio, we can sit here and connect because I know you know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
right? That's what culture, that's why I think that those things matter so much. And we talk about these things because you can go to a white dude that ain't never had any type of interaction with a black dude and be like, I didn't know Antoine talked like that. You'd be like, damn, like my little kid thugged out. Like, what you talk about? You don't know where Antoine from, right? So it's super interesting how we gotta kind of navigate those spaces, bro. But I do think like when you start going to those events and traveling to other countries and going to them, um it just opens your mind up to how big this world really is.
Mhm.
And sometimes those things we get stuck in our head don't even be mattering, bro.
Mhm.
Sometimes it don't matter, and then a lot of the times they matter a lot.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So stay woke.
for sure. Yeah.
Oh God.
So tell me, bro, what's next with Nichefire? What's next with your journey? What do you want to accomplish next?
So we're seed stage startup, and just continue to strive for product market fit. We got a couple of, just trying to get a couple new logos like every single week, every single month, and just kind of compile that is the goal right now. So business development push, huge push between now and the end of this year to try to hit goals, grow our team, all of that good stuff. We have a lot of new features as well that'll be pushed out. So just understand, and that's why I really appreciate just kind of linking with you, bro, because you're showing me too just consistency and and posting on the channels and putting your content out there, because we have to be our own engines, right? We have
For
to
sure.
feed that algorithm, and if it don't give you love, then you got to feed it the next day again. You got to just keep feeding it, because sometimes that's the only budget you got for, putting your stuff out there. So, um, really just, just marketing and growing and trying to get as many customers as we can. Um, as long as we continue to hit our revenue milestones, hopefully we'll be setting up for a new round. Um, Probably end of this year, early next year, which means that we will have hit, 1 million plus in revenue, all that good stuff that you hear the startups do before they get that big break. So, really just kind of thinking about that at the same time, kind of piecing together my team and, bringing on freelancers here and there and people that see the vision but understand it's, we're almost there where we can bring people on. But when that happens, I think um we'll be able to take Nichefire to that next level, because since forever it's been me, Michael, and Steven, and now we got, we essentially doubled our team. It's a team of 7 now.
Okay.
And then we got another 7, 8 contractors that are doing different things. But hopefully we can just kind of double head count and just keep things going. We're adding new customers and learning a lot more about what culture provides businesses and how to talk to them about how to use these cultural signals to their advantage. Really, you see that dollar sign? I was talking to Michael. I said, bro, if we ain't helping companies do that, where is it? Right there. We ain't helping companies do that. Get to a bag. It doesn't matter, right? Like, insights only matter when they can drive revenue. And you try to talk to the C-suite about something, it better be about some money,
Hmm.
how to make it, how to save it, how to keep it. That's what's in the cards for us, bro. You be having some heat, bro, and
You
you
think
got,
so?
man, and you be having the baddies on there. So ain't nobody trying to see me. Hey, but you know how that go, man. Ain't nobody trying to see us. They trying to see them.
Khalil, this has been powerful. Your journey from the field to the founder seat shows what happens when resilience meets vision. To everyone listening, keep grinding, keep learning, and keep chasing the work that matters. Until next time, stay blessed and highly caffeinated.